One of the things that people seem to be interested in quite a lot is how much things are costing me for the adventure. The videos that I've been doing about budget challenges and where I mention costs seem to be the ones that people are clicking on and watching most. So I thought it would be a good idea to do a couple of videos out of the normal stream of 52 weeks videos. They'll still happen every Thursday, but I thought I'd just do a couple of ones out of the stream which are about the costs. One about the cost of getting here to Thailand, and then one about my monthly spending whilst I'm here. So today I'm going to do the video about the cost of me getting here. I'm going to break the cost down to a number of categories. One is the official kind of travel papers that I needed, visa, Thailand pass, the travel costs, and then a little bit of about holiday money at the end. So the first thing I had to do was organise my personal travel papers, and my passport only had a few months left on it, so I applied for a new passport, and that cost me $300 Australian. And I also applied for an international driver's license, which cost me $42. So that's a total of $342 just getting my personal travel papers together. The next step was the visa, and there are a number of documents that I needed for that. Some of which, like bank account statements, didn't actually cost me anything to get, but others which did. So first of all, I had to apply for a police check, which was $40. Then I had to make sure I had health insurance, which is $326. So that's, that's a bit of a movable feast. That depends on your personal circumstances, your age, pre-existing conditions, that sort of stuff. So that's what it was for me. That covers me for 12 months. I then had to pay for the application for the visa, which was $300, and provide return postage, which was $22.85. So that comes to a total of $3,388.85. Now the next thing that I had to sort out was the Thailand pass. Now that's gone by the wayside since I came to Thailand, so these expenses may no longer apply to you, and some of the expenses from the previous category for the visa cover some of the costs for the Thailand pass as well. So, but the other costs I had for Thailand pass was a pre-departure PCR, which cost me $79. And then I got a Thai agent to do the Thailand pass actual filling out for me. And that cost me $643 Australian, which included the accommodation, the PCR test when I arrived, and the ATK test kit that they send you away with, and all that stuff. So that was $643. Can't remember if I said that. Now I thought I would get an agent to do it. I probably could have done it myself. The agent's fee wasn't all that expensive as part of that, and I thought it best to have somebody who actually spoke Thai if I needed somebody to contact them on my behalf. So that's why I did that. The other thing I did was I actually had to get some COVID insurance. I did have COVID insurance on my other insurance policy, but it didn't kick in until 14 days after I arrived in Thailand. So I needed to get some extra COVID insurance for the Thailand pass to cover me for that period in between. Yeah, so that came to a total of $722. The next thing is all the travel arrangements that were put in place. So, and this is in kind of very random order. However, the flight from Sydney to Bangkok cost me about $1,700. That's a return flight because I needed a return flight for my visa application. So I've got a flight booked back in December to go home for Christmas, and then I'll fly back in after that. That cost me $1,700, as I say. There was 5 days I had a hotel in Bangkok whilst I was kind of wandering around and waiting to do my ATK test. That cost me $250. I did a train trip from Bangkok to Chiang Mai, which cost me $42. I had a hotel in Chiang Mai for a couple of weeks, which was $461. I also had a flight from Wagga to Sydney, which was $302.65. And then I had a hotel overnight stay in Sydney, which was $304.25. So all of those travel arrangements come to a total of $3,059.90. Okay, so all of those travel costs have been talked about by me in Australian dollars. So I'll try and do some currency equivalents underneath or on the screen somewhere, so that you get an idea of other currencies, hopefully the currency that applies to you. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about in Thai baht, because that's what I spent it in. Up until now, I've spent all this money in Australian dollars. And then I decided that for the first couple of weeks, whilst I was kind of waiting in Bangkok to do my ATK test, and whilst I was in Chiang Mai looking for an apartment, I'd just kind of have some holiday expenditure, and I kind of figured that that would cost me about 1,000 baht a day. As it turned out, it actually ended up being 895 baht per day, and that was for 22 days. And that came to a total of 19,690 baht. Now, once again, I'll do the equivalent currencies for that, but I will put the grand total of all that on the screen, because I don't know what currency I'm talking in now. So I'll go away, calculate it. When I'll do the editing, I'll put the grand total of that on the screen. So that's the breakdown of what it cost me to get from Wagga Wagga in Australia, which was where I was living, to Chiang Mai in Thailand, which is where I'm living now. So from the day, oh well, not from the day I left, but from when I started paying costs for the travel in Australia up until the day I moved into this apartment. So that's the costs. The next video I'm going to do, I'll actually talk about the costs of my day-to-day living on a monthly basis. So keep an eye out for that one. And the other thing that I will do is I will put all of these videos, or both of these videos, into a playlist, which is the Costs 2022 playlist, and that will kind of, I'll put a link to that here somewhere. So that will have these two videos in it, you know, any of the budget challenges that I do, and anything that I think is useful in terms of talking about the costs of things in Thailand for me. Now, for other people it may be different. I mean, obviously the Thailand Pass doesn't exist anymore. Plane flight prices have gone up since I booked the ticket. I actually booked the ticket in COVID times when they were trying to get people on planes, and now there's lots of factors making the prices of planes go up. So there's, you know, you need to do your own research, but just as a guideline, that's what it cost me in March of 2022, end of March, early April 2022, to get from Wagga Wagga in Australia to Chiang Mai in Thailand. So I hope that is of some use to you or interest to you, and keep an eye out for the next video, which will be about the monthly living costs. Catch you later.